with this simple trick that is no secret, and it's not even a trick, you can make your ARs run even better. Now, most likely, if you've been following the channel, following primary and secondary in general, these are things you already do. These are things that you know. But the purposes of this video is just to help explain a little tiny adjustment you can make that requires minimal effort, just a tiny investment, and it will help your ARs run better. Now, here is one of the FN reproductions of an M16A4 20-inch all stock except for the ACOG and the charging handle. I think it's a cool rifle. And then also this is a little Franken gun, little commando type with B5 retro furniture, which really complemented the rifle. So let's talk about this little guy. If you find that your gun is running a little too, it's running rough, violent, hard, I don't know, recoil's a little bit sharp for what you were hoping, instead of changing out your gas block and instead of putting on an adjustable gas block, there's a really simple solution. And essentially all that is changing out your buffer weight and changing out your recoil spring. So if you're running a carbine weight, a C as a buffer, up it to an H1, H2, H3, depending on, matter of fact, it wouldn't be bad to have all three to have on hand if you have a bunch of rifles, and then basically you mix and match and you go one at a time and figure out which helps your gun run more. Essentially what it's helping to do is lessen your recoil. Along with that, a nice Springco recoil spring can help alleviate a lot of the issues. And what this can do is it ultimately helps your gun not only last longer because it's not beating itself up, but it's going to run nicer. It's going to be more pleasant to shoot. And when we're dealing with something like this versus something like this, from the factory, this FN, this is made to spec. The gas port is what it's supposed to be. The buffer is what it's supposed to be. The recoil spring is what it's supposed to be. I can still fine tune that by changing out springs and buffer. With the Franken gun though, it's kind of all over the place, and it's kind of difficult to figure out what your standard is, because there really is no standard. There's a standard configuration, but the details with that are kind of, among all the different manufacturers, it's kind of a wild card. So before you decide to change out your gas block to help your whole system out, consider changing out some springs. Again, those Springcos are a wonderful solution, as well as a heavier buffer. And yeah, if you have a carbine gas system and you still have a carbine buffer, change that to like an H1. And if that doesn't work, H2, H3. That is all. Fun stuff. Make sure you're hitting like, share, subscribe. I am on primarysecondary.com. Also have 736 different Facebook groups dedicated to various gun things and mindset and you name it. That is all. I'll talk to you later.